Hey, what's up, you guys? You're watching Team APS, and I'm with Chris.
Hello.
Today. Been a while, but we're here in his penthouse estate.
This is my penthouse, guys. Like, you should enjoy this video because it's never gonna happen again in this penthouse.
And we're gonna talk about some cool stuff today. 5 everlasting problems in Yu-Gi-Oh! The things that are always going on, the things people are always complaining about, and it doesn't seem like it ever really ends.
It will never end.
Yeah, we've been playing this game for a while, so we can vouch that this stuff does happen more than it should.
It happens every time you sit down to play cards.
Take it away.
So one that we hear it a lot, we say it a lot, but it is kind of true, but it's never going to change. This game is too expensive.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that it's always expensive. There's always a money card. Actually, there's always several money cards.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's Dragonic Diagram, Ash Blossom, but I mean 6 or 8 months ago or something, it was something different. Crystal Wing, it's cards like that.
Zodiac Barrage.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also one of those things too where you can ask for reprints all you want, but when the reprints come,
then you're gonna want something new.
Yeah, there'll be something new. Konami's gonna, they'll make something new.
To be honest, I think Konami has done a great job in the past few years of giving us the money cards for
less,
lower prices. Because essentially, their goal was to make the game more accessible for everybody. So they actually do a good job with that. It's just the timing of the pack releases when the reprints come out. Like, a lot of times you don't see those reprints, like Paul said, for about another 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Very seldom you'll see it within the first couple months. But I think they do a good job with that.
And then at least that argument people have where it's like, this is too expensive to play, why is this so expensive? Then there's the other end of the spectrum where it's like, well, you should be willing to invest in your hobbies and quit complaining, don't play this game if you can't afford it. It's that's always a struggle. There's always just two people arguing over that.
It's gonna forever be a struggle because the thing about it is nobody makes the same amount of money. Well, some people do, but nobody. You never know a person's circumstance. You never know what people have to spend money on. I think that's a bad thing to say.
Yeah.
A lot of times basically you're saying they can't afford it.
Yeah.
But you can. I hate when people do that.
I've got number 2. Number 2. There's always a top tier deck that people are going to complain about.
Of course.
And so right now it's Zodiacs. But, even though people want it banned, nail this thing to the coffin, there's just going to be something new that takes its place.
If there's no top tier decks, there's no competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. So I always try to tell people, it's there's got to be a best deck.
Always.
It's Zodiacs right now, but
I think the problem more so comes into play whenever there's only one top deck. Now, when there's a power triangle, when you go, we always refer back to this format, but Dino Rabbit,
Wind Up and Injectors,
and Injectors.
I like those days.
Yeah, that was 3 of the best decks where any one of them could beat the other at any given time. So
yeah, I don't mind a power circle. I agree.
And the crazy part about it is people complained about it then.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, it's a never-ending complaint.
It's a never-ending
complaint. I think what people don't get is stuff's gonna get banned, but new stuff's gonna take its place.
Yeah, all the time.
Zodiacs will be out of here in a month or two, but there will be another broken deck.
The one thing you have to understand is people are always looking for ways to break this game. They're always looking for ways to make the next good thing. That's why you're always seeing these YouTube videos, crazy deck combo or crazy one-turn Quasar.
Yeah.
Shadow Draw. I don't know.
It's
probably not even a card, but yeah, they find a card that's $2 and find a way to break it, and the card ends up being
something's always going to be unfair,
Yeah, and that goes back to the first one, the game being expensive because they raise the price of lower cards, and those lower cards go into the top tier decks, and essentially that's the only deck people play.
It's clockwork.
Yeah, these topics kind of all go together.
Oh yeah. Funny, it leads us to the third topic. Very related, the ban list. There's always going to be someone complaining about the ban list. When's it coming out? Why wasn't it what I wanted? What needs to get hit? What doesn't need to get hit?
They need to emergency ban this.
Yeah, this needs to be E-banned. Why did they hit my favorite deck, but they didn't hit that other one hard enough?
Yeah, like...
It's been years and people are still...
That's something we will never understand because, essentially, the way Konami does it is, I'm guessing people monitor the game. They monitor every regional, they monitor every YCS, every national around the world, and they have a group of people who come down and they come up with the ban list. Some stuff we will never understand, and nowadays we don't even know when it's coming out. So people are gonna always complain about that.
On the list.
That's like the ban list is usually the unknown. People complain about the unknown.
Yeah. I think it's like people are just worried about their investment going under, or
exactly.
something like that, which is fair. Yeah. I can see why you.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the most fair.
It's a fair
complaints
complaint
that people make.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But the ban list, it feels like there's always an argument over it.
But it's one of those necessary evils that we have to deal with.
Yeah, I agree.
The game, without a ban list, people will still be playing E-Dragon.
Yeah, that's true, and it wouldn't push new product.
Which, in my opinion, is the best deck of all time. But people will forever be playing that if there wasn't a ban list.
So, our next one is, there's always something new on the horizon. And what I mean by that is, it feels like, and I think more so in this whole YGOPro era, where, people are always playing cards like a year before they're out.
Yeah, and then you got the OCG being ahead of the TCG.
Yeah.
You always know that there's something new, broken as hell.
Yeah, something's coming out. And it's always the talk of the town.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where, people almost play in fast forward. They're talking about formats before they happen. Where it's what do you? I remember when people were talking about Shadows, and I didn't know what Shadows were.
I didn't know what they were.
People were just how are you going to beat Shadows? Shadows,
to be honest, I never even picked the deck up. I can hardly even tell you what the effects do now.
Yeah, it was, and see, that's the thing. In this game, there's always something new coming out, and I think that the one problem is sometimes people will not play a deck because their favorite card for it isn't out.
Yeah.
My favorite example right now is Fluffles. There's that card, Fright for Patchwork. I don't know if you've seen it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the little thing. And so that's been out in the OCG for ages, and it still hasn't come out in the TCG, and people are mad about it. And there are people who won't build Fluffles until Fright for Patchwork comes out.
Yeah.
But it's man, you gotta live in the present,
And then also to further speak on that, people won't build decks because they heard somebody say, "Oh well, this is coming out. That
deck's gonna be obsolete.
That deck's gonna be obsolete. Nobody's gonna play it after this comes out. Okay, I don't need to buy this then. Why would I waste my money on this when I can?
Yeah, wait for the next big
thing to come out.
And but guess what? It's never-ending cycle.
But guess what happens after that?
Yeah,
the next big thing comes out, and guess what? We're looking forward to the next big thing.
And that's kind of something I don't. Yeah, I've never been a fan of that, but
that's another one. Never gonna end.
What is our last thing?
The last one?
Truly never-ending complaint.
Konami is the villain.
Until they're not the villain.
And then they're the villain once more.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about that. Everyone hates Konami for a different reason, right? It's their fault this is so expensive. It's their fault this deck is broken. It's their fault that, I lose at locals every weekend or something. Nah. It's always Konami's fault,
It's always their fault, which... in some cases, it kind of is.
I just think the hypocrisy comes when Battles of Legend comes out, right?
Yeah.
And it's reprinting Minerva and Crystal Wing and Omega, and at dirt cheap prices.
Yeah.
Crystal Wing was $70 or something at a time, and now it's $5.
Yeah, and then that's what makes him the villain. And a lot of people look at Konami differently depending on what's happening in the game. Mm-hmm. Because 1 second, they're not reprinting Crystal Wing. The people who have the stuff, they love it.
Yeah, they're fine.
They love it. But
and there's someone complaining, why is Konami making it so expensive? And then it gets reprinted, and someone else is complaining.
They're complaining,
I lost
and
money.
The people who didn't have it, they're not complaining. They like Konami. Until something new and broken comes out, which goes back to our last point.
And it's an actual circle jerk, in real life.
Yeah.
And then the best part is no matter what happens, people are still gonna play.
Of course.
That's the thing. Everyone, they complain about Konami. The Konami is the villain. They're evil.
I watch a lot of YouTube, and I see a lot of comment sections, and I hear people complaining about link summon, but those same people are gonna be playing.
Yeah, that's the
they
thing.
hate it now until it gets broken, then they're gonna love it.
It's like the people who complained about pendulums, and now they're mad that pendulums aren't good right now.
Yeah,
pendulums are broken. How dare they do this? And then now we're like, pendulums can't compete. Why they nerf them? And it's like it's always Konami's fault.
It's all there. I mean, like, to be honest, it's all there for the health of the game. Like, the game needs some adversity. You know, it needs those problems in order to find out what needs to be fixed.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
So those are, in our opinion at least, right? You know, the 5 never-ending problems, complaints in Yu-Gi-Oh.
But you know what? We want to hear what you guys think.
We do want to hear
never-ending problems in Yu-Gi-Oh. I want to hear it.
Let us know in the comments.
I'm gonna be in the comments.
Yeah, so let us know. What do you guys think? Like, what problems do you always hear people complaining about? No matter what, never-ending, always repeating, the clockwork problems. Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And thumbs if you liked the video.
Hey, thumbs up this video.
Subs if you love the video.
And Trail to eat a Yu-Gi-Oh card live on camera. Trail, not me. Trail would.
So, yeah, it's going to be it. We will catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.